Hello folks, quick one for you today, just in response to quite a few comments I've had of late. And people are really asking, is leasing still the best way to get hold of a new car at the moment with everything that's going on with used car prices? So let's have a look at this example first, and then we'll do a little summary at the end. So this is the Hyundai Tucson. Now Hyundai are offering a deposit contribution thing at the moment if you get the hybrid or the plug-in hybrid. I'm looking at the hybrid, so non-plug-in, a 230 PS, 1.6 petrol engine, two-wheel drive, automatic, standard colours, no options on it, anything like that. And I've had to do a bit of jiggery pokery here to try and get the two figures to be as like for like as possible in terms of the sort of term we're looking at. So I've done this one on £2,200 deposit, and then you've got 36 monthly payments afterwards. What I've had to do on the lease, because normally it's a deposit and then you've got 35 monthly payments, I've done it as zero deposit. As you can see here, all there is a broker fee. So instead of a deposit, you've got a broker fee of 360 quid, and then it's 366 a month for 36 monthly payments. Road tax on this in the first year is going to be 170 quid and 145 thereon. So if you're going to purchase that car, it's 35.5 grand, okay? On the lease, 360 quid up front, as we said. No road tax, because you don't pay road tax on a lease, the leasing company does. 36 monthly payments of 366 quid. So to have that car for 3 years, it's going to cost you 13.5 grand, okay? On the PCP, now the dealer contribution on this one is 2,250 quid. So although you're only paying 2,200 as your deposit, in theory, the deposits are actually 4,450, but it's only costing you 2,200. You've then got to pay 460 quid road tax in that 3-year period. Then you've got 36 monthly payments of 479. So the total you're paying is just a shade under 20 grand. Now, if you want to keep that car at the end, it's going to cost you an extra £16,380. So the question here really is, do you just want to be able to transition to something else? You want to have a choice of any kind of car. You don't want to feel like you're tied into anything, blah, blah, blah. If so, maybe go with the lease. If you want to own the car at the end of it, or perhaps even sell the car afterwards, then you can by all means think about the PCP. Of course, at the end of the lease, you're also very, very likely to be offered the car to purchase. But the difference between the two is, with a PCP, you know what the purchase price is going to be the day you sign the agreement. And with the lease, you generally find out how much they want for the car in the last 3 months of your lease agreement. So it's much more of a gamble if you are actually considering holding on to the car at the end of the lease. That's a great starting position for us. Now we have to work out which one's going to work better for you in your situation. So to lease that car for the first 3 years will have saved you 6,400 quid over doing the PCP up to that point. So that means if your optional payment is 16 grand, the magic number you need that car to be worth for you to break even at that point is this. It's 22,748. And why it's that figure is it's that plus that. Okay, so if that car's only worth 21 grand in 3 years, and you buy it for 16,380 and you sell it for 21 grand, in theory, you've lost 1,748 quid. If you're going to hold on to the car forever, it's obviously a moot point, because you just want to buy the car and keep it forever. Do whatever makes you happy. Get a loan, do a PCP, do an HP, do whatever makes you happy. But if you're looking at this as someone who gets a new car every 3 years, which a lot of people do, and you're not sure whether a lease is the best idea or a PCP is the best idea, do the calculations exactly as I have, whichever car you're looking at. Look at how much the lease is going to cost you. Look at how much the PCP is going to cost you. Don't forget to factor in the fact that you need to pay road tax if you're doing a PCP, and you don't need to pay it if you're doing a lease. And then look at the saving. You're almost always going to get saving on the lease versus the PCP. And add that to the optional final payment on the PCP, and that gives you your magic number. And that's the value really that, so if this Hyundai Tucson, for example, is worth 25 grand in 3 years, wish I'd done the PCP, because I could have bought the car for 16,380 at the end of the PCP, sold it for 25 to We Buy Any Car or whatever, and made myself 2.5 grand. Something to think about. And for all those people that are asking me that question, that's the calculation you should do. What I would normally do in these videos at this stage is I'd show you what a 3-year-old one would cost you. I'm not going to do that on this because it's completely and utterly pointless. for two reasons, actually. One, obviously, is that used car prices are mental at the moment. The bubble's going to burst at some point, and I'm sure that will happen within the next 3 years. I think we can safely say that. I don't think it will happen this year, but it could. I don't think prices will be as high in 3 years. The other reason it's pointless, or it would make it unfair, an unfair comparison, is this is a new model of Tucson, and that means the old ones comparatively lose a bit of value. As soon as a new model of car comes out, the other one's immediately not quite as attractive and therefore takes a bit of a hit on its value. So it's an unfair comparison to make. There are 3-year-old Tucsons knocking around with similar sort of mileage onto what this would have, about 30,000 for about 18 grand. But it's a completely pointless comparison at the moment because used car prices could crash in the next 3 years. And as I said, this is not a new it's not a like-for-like model. So it's a pointless comparison to make. I hope you found that useful, and I hope that's answered the question for people that have been asking me. Now, at the moment, I think it's more important than ever that we all stay safe online, especially with everything that's happening in the world. So check this out. Go and check out Surfshark and use my link, which is in the video description and pinned as the top comment. I've been using Surfshark for a couple of years now, and what it is a VPN. That means you can trick your internet, your phone, your computer, your TV, any device to think you're in another country. Why is that useful? Firstly, it helps you protect your online identity. Secondly, it stops eavesdropping from hackers, governments, corporations. Thirdly, you can fool your device to think you're in another country, which means you might be able to access things like the US version of Netflix, which has got tons of different content to the UK version. Massively useful. And it also comes with ad blockers, so you don't get pesky ads popping up on your internet browsing. Now use my link and you'll get an amazing 82% discount from Surfshark. You get 2 months up front as a free trial and you get 82% off. If you sign up for 2 years, you can get it for £1.69 a month, which is incredible. And the best thing is, using that link helps support the channel. So enjoy that US Netflix, enjoy protected browsing in future, and thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.